Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. So lately I have been getting a lot of requests to do a video basically about my hair care routine and how I keep my hair healthy after bleaching it. So that's what I'm going to do. I actually do have a very old hair care routine video and I still do a lot of the same things, but at the time my hair was completely virgin, so I know that you need to be a little extra careful when dealing with bleached hair, so I thought I would do a new video and just kind of my updated hair care routine, and hopefully it can help some of you guys. So before we get into what I do, I just want to say that I am not a professional hairstylist. I have never been trained for anything hair related. Everything that I'm going to say is just stuff that I do myself and that I feel works for me, but of course everyone's hair is different, so just keep that in mind. So I think one of the most important things to actually keeping your hair healthy, even if you are bleaching it, is in the bleaching process itself. You obviously don't want to be bleaching too often, and what's very important is you don't want to be overlapping bleach. So every time I do my roots, I have to be very careful so I'm not putting bleach where it's already bleached, because if you're putting that over already lightened hair, you're just going to really damage it and it might fall off. So that's something very, very important to keep in mind. And also the developer you're using, just don't go very high. I never use 40 volume developer, even when I was doing my whole hair for the first time. 30 was my max. I know on the roots, I think you're only supposed to do 20. I do use 30 sometimes because my hair is so dark, but you really need to see what will work for your hair. If you already know your hair can handle it, then maybe you could use it, but to be safe, I would just say use 20. All right, so let's get into the more everyday things you can do to try to keep your hair healthy. And of course, my hair does have some damage. I mean, it's bleach, it's gonna be damaged, but I do think that considering, all that it's been through, it does look pretty healthy and it feels nice, and that's the goal, right? So I'm basically just going to talk you guys through my hair care routine. So of course, I have to wash my hair every so often, and I try not to do this too often. One, because it's just not great for your hair, but also because of the pink dye, I don't want it to fade too quickly. So I'd say I wash my hair about 2 times a week. And I will say that my natural hair was extremely oily, so I think that's something that definitely helps, because instead of going from normal hair to dry hair after bleaching, or even worse, dry hair to even drier hair, I basically went from oily hair to normal hair. I feel like my hair is just normal now. I don't feel like I have to wash it every day. So I actually use pretty cheap shampoos and conditioners. These are the ones I've been using for a couple of years now. They're the same ones I mentioned in the other hair care routine video, and that's because of what I was just saying about my hair being very oily before. And this was the shampoo that I found that actually managed to keep my hair clean the longest. And this is the Suave Smoothing Shampoo. It has keratin and stuff, and I don't know if it's very good or not really for your hair. I just know that it kept my hair clean long enough for me to not have to wash it every day. So as for shampoo, I mean, I feel like it really depends on your type of hair and everything, but one thing I do want to mention is I only shampoo my scalp, and basically this whole top part, because that's basically where you're getting oils from your scalp, and the rest of your hair is probably pretty dry, so you don't really want to strip the hair of any oil it does have. So it's not really necessary to shampoo that. So I just shampoo up here, let the water kind of just rinse that down, because then it'll still clean your hair, make it smell nice and everything. But yeah, that's a way to really avoid removing any oil from the bottom. And then when it comes to conditioner, I use the one that goes with the shampoo. And basically I just try to leave it in my hair for a little while in the shower. So I'll try to do that first, so that when I'm, washing myself and stuff, it's just sitting in my hair and just trying to hydrate it and stuff. I actually used to only put it on this part down, because I never wanted to get my scalp oily, but now because my hair is drier, I do put conditioner everywhere just to make sure that I'm keeping everything nice and moisturized and hydrated. So still on the topic of conditioning, creams and stuff, there are 2 things I want to mention. The first one is I do a hair mask every so often, not super often. I'd say maybe like twice a month, if even that. I really forget, but this is the one I use. It's from Kerastase, and I basically just put it in my hair, leave it for, I don't know, like 30 minutes to like an hour maybe, and then I just wash it off. But I've actually found that I haven't been doing hair masks as often ever since I started dyeing my hair pink, because my hair dye is actually very like conditioning. So I kind of use that as a hair mask. As many of you probably know, I use the Arctic Fox hair dye, and I always dilute it with some conditioner. So this in itself is already super conditioning, super good for your hair. That's why like when you put it on and like you leave it on, you can leave it on for as long as you want because it's not doing any harm to your hair. It's just good stuff in your hair. So that plus some more conditioner just means you're conditioning your hair even more. So it's basically a hair mask, and although I think they say you can leave it for like 30 minutes. Yeah, it says at least 30 minutes. So after 30 minutes, I could just wash the dye off, but I love leaving it for like an hour or two because that's basically when I'm getting that hair mask time. And my hair feels incredible after I dye it because of that. Like, it feels so good. My hair is usually super tangled, but after dyeing it, like, it's like I have no trouble at all to detangle it, which is amazing. All right, so after I've washed my hair, obviously I need to dry it. And I have found that a lot of people are very rough on their hair with their towels. Like, it drives me crazy to see people get their towels and just like, you know, just be really rough, just like really rub it in and stuff. I don't know, I've just learned that that's not very good for your hair. So it's best to just kind of like wrap it around and like press it to let the towel like soak up that water without rubbing it, because when you're doing that, like, hair is very fragile, so when you're doing that, you're like really like breaking it, especially your ends that are probably like extremely fragile, like you're just breaking all of that off. And that's why a lot of times people will say when they have bleached hair that their hair isn't growing, yet you always see your roots like grow out super fast, or like what's going on. And I've just learned that like it's basically your ends breaking off. So like your hair is growing, it still grows, but because your ends are breaking off, you don't see a difference in hair length. So that's why it's so important to protect your ends, make sure they're healthy, so that even though your hair is bleached and dyed and whatever, that you can still grow out your hair if you want to. So please be gentle with your hair when you are drying it, and also when you are detangling it. So this is the brush that I use. It's from Tangle Teaser, so it is like meant for detangling. It's meant for wet hair and all that, so it's great. But also, something that I also see a lot of people do is just kind of start from the top and then just like force their way down, and you're just breaking off a bunch of hair. So my tip is to start from the bottom. You just get a little bit, comb through it. Once that's good, you move up and then do this. That way, if for some reason you do break off hair because it's very tangled, you're only breaking it off from like a lower point, not from all the way over here. So I just find it also just makes it easier to detangle. You'll see, if you've never done that, give it a try. It's a life changer because, as I said, my hair is very tangled, and this really helps. And also, something else that helps is to use a leave-in conditioner or some kind of like detangling cream. I actually used to have one. I think it was like from the Long Sexy Hair range or something like that. That was for detangling, and I really liked it. But I find that any like type of like leave-in conditioner works. So I use this one from Garnier Fructis. It's their Sleek and Shine leave-in conditioning cream. So I just put a little bit of that. I try to avoid my roots because I just don't want it to get too oily up here. But I just like put it in here and then I brush it out like I just said, and it's so quick. And obviously that's not only like helping you be able to detangle your hair better, but also it's another conditioning cream. So everything you want is like conditioning stuff because your hair is very dry at this state. All right, so after you have towel dried your hair, you could just let it dry naturally. And honestly, that's the best thing for your hair because heat isn't great, as you guys know. But sometimes I just want, you know, that kind of blown out look, kind of how I have now. I find that it just makes your hair look healthier and smoother and just more put together. So although my hair is naturally straight, it's just like, you know, it could get a little funky some places, get a little frizzy. So I like to blow dry it sometimes, not all the time, but you know, whenever I know I'm gonna be going out or filming or whatever, if I just feel like it, I do like to blow dry it. So before I do that, I use a heat protectant. I like this one from Got To Be. It's their Guardian Angel Flat Iron Balm. So I just spray it all over before I put any heat. And I also find that this makes my hair look very glossy. Like, I feel like when I forget to use it, it doesn't look as glossy as it does when I use this. I actually forgot to use it today. So as I said, I feel like blow drying my hair, although it doesn't make my hair healthier, obviously, I feel like it makes it look healthier. So if that's something you're after, then I recommend trying that out. I actually like to use this Revlon, I forgot what it's called. I think it's like the One Step hair dryer styler. I don't know. I'll link it below. But the reason why I love this is because I find it very difficult to like hold the blow dryer and like a big round brush and like trying to hold the hair. I don't know. I just find that a lot of work. My arms hurt, so I don't have the patience. So when I discovered this, it was like my new best friend because this makes it so easy. You literally just hold your hair and then just do this, and the heat is coming out from here. So then it just, yeah, makes it super easy. I feel like it makes my hair look very nice and smooth and kind of blown out. I mean, my hair is very flat, but it helps give a little bit more volume. So like I said, it's not something that makes your hair healthier, but it will make it look healthier. So I thought it was worth a mention. And then to finish it off, something else that I also think makes it just look a little bit better, but in this case, it also does help your hair, is some kind of like oil serum thing. And I like to use that especially on my ends because even after I blow dry it, sometimes I feel like my ends still look a tiny bit dry, and I feel like adding in something like this just makes it look, you know, nicer. So this is also from Got To Be. It's their Glossy Anti-Frizz Shine Serum, and I think that's also why I really like it, because it's anti-frizz. And my hair is naturally very frizzy, so I focus it on the ends, but then I kind of just like bring whatever's left on my hands up, and I feel like that does help to minimize frizz, which is amazing because I hate frizzy hair. I'm so glad I'm not on the East Coast anymore because there it's very humid and my hair was like insanely frizzy. So here it's not so bad, but you know, I still get a little bit of frizz, and this helps. So yeah, I think that's everything I had to share with you guys. That's everything I do, and that's how I keep my hair looking like this. I mean, if you have any other tips, definitely let me know in the comments because I can always use more things to make my hair look healthier. I hope this was helpful to those of you who had requested this. If you have any more questions, also leave them in the comments and I will respond to all of them. Also, I will be doing a separate video on how to basically take care of your hair color when you have colors like pink and stuff like that, and basically how to maintain it and make it last longer. So that'll be a video of its own, so stay tuned for that. And yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you did, don't forget to give it a thumbs up. Don't forget to subscribe if you haven't already. And until next time, bye!